Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be working on this 2011 Chevy Equinox. We'll be going over the injection system and how to test some components, how to remove some components, and as well as describing the operation of all the components in the system. Alright, so starting off we have the coil on plug type here. The screw to disconnect it is on the right hand side of each plug. Make sure you press the tab in on the back here before removing the connector, and then it slides right off, and then you'll be able to access your spark plugs. Alright, so with that coil pulled out, we see it is a 4-pin connector there. And so what this does is it creates the high voltage enough to jump the spark plug gap and ignite the air and fuel mixture in the engine.
Here we have a spark plug socket. If we look inside, we can see there is a rubber boot. That is designed so that when we go to pull out the spark plug, it does not fall out. I'm going to give it a quick wiggle here. See if we can see it does not fall out. If we look closer at the spark plug, we can see that there are carbon deposits around the electrode and all inside there. Upon inspecting these, make sure to look at the threads, that there's no oil inside of them, and that they're all nice and clean. Here we have a spark plug covered in carbon. Before testing resistance, make sure to get a clear metal contact in order to get a proper reading of the resistance. Here I clamped onto the terminal and will be touching the center electrode with the red lead.
Alright, so here we have the whole electronic ignition system for the 2011 Chevy Equinox displayed on the screen. First up, just a brief explanation. The ignition system, as you can see, uses the individual coils for each cylinder as we showed previously. Those coils are mounted near each cylinder and short integrated boots or high tension wires connecting the coils to the spark plugs. The driver modules within each ignition coil are commanded on-off by the ECM, which uses the MAF sensor signal and the crank and cam position sensors as well. It uses readings from each of these sensors to determine when and when not to spark the spark plug. If you guys are interested on crank and camshaft position sensor operation, make sure to click this link and it'll send you to our other video going into details on those. This system also utilizes a NOx sensor, which increases amplitude and frequency based on the engine vibration or noise level. We have a diagram of the ignition coils. The procedure is to take the intake manifold off prior to removal of the coils, and if you guys are doing this on for yourselves, make sure to properly disconnect the harness from each individual coil, as well as tighten it to the proper torque spec, which is 89 inch-pounds. And here are the specs for the spark plug. So a couple things we got is the firing order of the entire engine. It goes 1, 3, 4, 2, as you can see in the center of your screen. The type of ignition is individual ignition coil. The spark plug torque is 20 Newton meters or 15 foot-pounds of torque. And then the gap for each individual plug, as we gapped earlier, is 1 millimeter or 0.035 inches. Another good tool that is useful in a toolbox here is the spark tester. As you can see, it is used to visually inspect the spark and verify that the coil is outputting the proper spark. Here it's revving up and you can see the spark come on and off a lot quicker than before. Before we show you some fun little clips, we want to reiterate that safety is the main concern here, and remember that there is a large amount of voltage, which is around tens of thousands of volts. However, due to the very low amperage that it's being driven by, it is safe to touch and do this next little clip that we're about to roll here. But always maintain safe shop habits throughout.
Thank you guys for watching. This being the last video of this series, we have a special guest, Mr. Mesfin Radke, to do our outro.
Thank you guys for watching again. Make sure you guys leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for the next series.